Disney California Adventure, commonly referred to as California Adventure, is a theme park located in Anaheim, California. It is owned and operated by the Walt Disney Company through its Parks and Resorts division. The 72-acre park is themed after the history and culture of California. The park opened in 2001, and it is the second of two theme parks built at the Disneyland Resort Complex, after Disneyland Park. The concept of a theme park dedicated to California arose from a meeting of Disney executives in 1995, following the cancellation of the Westcott project. Construction of the park began in 1998, and was completed by early 2001. Disney initially projected high attendance rates at the new park, but a series of preview openings held in January 2001 led to negative reviews. And after the park officially opened to the public on February 8, 2001, the company's attendance projections were never met. Disney spent the next several years incrementally adding new rides, shows, and attractions, and implementing other promotions aimed at boosting attendance. In 2007, Disney announced a major expansion of the park as well as a major overhaul of a significant portion of the park. Construction lasted for 5 years and was completed in stages, culminating with the opening of Buena Vista Street and Cars Land in June 2012. According to the Themed Entertainment Association, the park hosted approximately 8.7 million guests in 2014, making it the 10th most visited theme park in the world that year. Dedications. Original dedication in front of the sun icon of the former Sunshine Plaza. To all who believe in the power of dreams, welcome. Disney's California Adventure opens its golden gates to you. Here we pay tribute to the dreamers of the past. The native people, explorers, immigrants, aviators, entrepreneurs and entertainers who built the Golden State. And we salute a new generation of dreamers who are creating the wonders of tomorrow, from the silver screen to the computer screen, from the fertile farmlands to the far reaches of space. Disney's California Adventure celebrates the richness and the diversity of California, its land, its people, its spirit and, above all, the dreams that it continues to inspire. Michael D. Eisner, February 8, 2001. Rededication on the plaque of the flagpole in Buena Vista Plaza on Buena Vista Street. To all who come to this place of dreams, welcome. Disney California Adventure celebrates the spirit of optimism and the promise of endless opportunities, ignited by the imagination of daring dreamers such as Walt Disney and those like him who forever changed and were forever changed by the Golden State. This unique place embraces the richness and diversity of California, its land, its people, its stories and, above all, the dreamers it continues to inspire. Robert A. Iger, June 15, 2012. History, concept and creation. The present-day site of Disney California Adventure was acquired by Walt Disney in the 1950s, and functioned as the parking lot of Disneyland for over 40 years. After succeeding with the multi-park business model at Walt Disney World in Florida, the Disney Company decided to turn Walt Disney's original theme park into a multi-park resort complex as well. In 1991, Disney announced plans to build Westcott, a West Coast version of what was then known as Epcot Center, on the site of Disneyland's parking lot. The high price tag of the proposed park as well as the company's financial and public relations problems with the newly opened Euro Disneyland led Disney to cancel Westcott in 1995. In the summer of 1995, Michael Eisner, Disney's CEO at the time, gathered company executives in Aspen, Colorado to think of another idea for a second theme park in California. From those meetings, Disney decided it would instead build a park themed to the history and culture of the state of California. They wanted to make California into a theme park, hoping to create precise reproductions of California landmarks, charming streets, and gorgeous landscaping that simulates the state's forests and farmlands, and celebrate the California dream. It was intended to appeal to adults while Disneyland was intended to appeal to children. Construction of the park began in 1998. The park's construction was accompanied by Downtown Disney and Disney's Grand Californian Hotel, and renovations of the Disneyland Hotel and Disneyland Pacific Hotel. Opening and initial criticism: the park was expected to draw large crowds when it opened on February 8, 2001. On January 14, a Los Angeles Times article titled "The Most Jam-Packed Theme Park on Earth" stated, "Senior Disney officials acknowledge that there will be days when California Adventure will have to turn patrons away, particularly in the first weeks after the park opens, during spring break and again in the summer." However, the actual attendance that year was substantially less than expected. This is suggested to have happened due to poor reviews from early visitors, the lack of focus in the Hollywood Pictures backlit, lack of attractions for children, large amount of off-the-shelf attractions, a high number of stores and restaurants relative to the number of attractions, and having a redundant theme, given the park is located in California. The park also lacks a park berm to separate it from surrounding neighborhoods. The berm in Disneyland Park uses trees and earthen mounds to build a physical barrier around the park so that structures external to the park cannot be seen, thus encompassing guests in the setting. At Disney California Adventure Park, nearby hotels, power lines, radio towers, and the Anaheim Convention Center are visible, reducing the immersion in the park. Disney had originally planned the park to be aimed at adults rather than children, which turned out to be a major criticism. The park opened to only 5 million visitors in 2001, while its sister park Disneyland saw 12.3 million visitors during the same time frame. Low attendance caused Disney to lower ticket prices for California Adventure, slashing as much as $10 off of the park's ticket prices. In its first year, the park only averaged 5,000 to 9,000 visitors on weekdays and 10,000 to 15,000 on the weekends, despite having a capacity of 33,000. Visitor surveys reported that only 20% of visitors to the park in its first year were satisfied with their experience. By October 2001, both Wolfgang Puck and Robert Mondavi closed their high-profile restaurants in the park, citing low crowds, though Mondavi remained as a sponsor. Early changes and expansions. Two of the park's major criticisms in its first year were the lack of attractions appealing to children and the lack of a nighttime show or parade to keep visitors from leaving at nightfall. Within the first year of operation, Disney's Electrical Parade and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Play It! Were brought to the park, and several of its original rides and attractions were closed, including Superstar Limo and Disney's Steps in Time. During the 2001 holiday season, Disney's Luminaria was presented on Paradise Bay. In October 2002, the Flix Fun Fair area opened, which added attractions for children. And in May 2004, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror opened as another e-ticket. The park regularly featured seasonal promotions such as concert series, food festivals, and promotions for other Walt Disney Company franchises, including the 10th Games and ABC soap operas. Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue opened in the former Superstar Limo building in January 2006. 2007 to 2012 redesign and expansion. By 2007, Disney had realized that the park was not working and that something major needed to be done. Bob Iger said of the park, "Anytime you do something mediocre with your brand, that's a withdrawal." California Adventure was a brand withdrawal. Iger briefly considered combining California Adventure and Disneyland Park into one large park, but the price would have cost as much as completely remodeling California Adventure. On October 17, 2007, the Walt Disney Company announced a multi-year, $1.1 billion redesign and expansion plan for Disney's California Adventure Park. Each district was reimagined to transform the park from a veritable spoof of modern California culture to a romanticized, idealized version of the state, exploring specific time periods and historic settings. The project began in December 2007 and was completed in stages. Toy Story Midway Mania opened on Paradise Pier in June 2008, in space formerly occupied by a store and restaurants. World of Color, a nighttime water and lights show on Paradise Bay, opened in June 2010. The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure opened on the site formerly occupied by the Golden Dreams Theatre in June 2011. The most drastic changes to the park included a complete overhaul of the main entrance, Sunshine Plaza, and Paradise Pier, as well as an expansion into the last of the parking area originally designated as future growth space for the park. The main entrance in Sunshine Plaza were turned from a giant postcard spoof of California into Buena Vista Street, a representation of Los Angeles as it appeared when Walt Disney moved there in the 1920s. The California sign in front was removed and donated to Cal Expo in Sacramento. Paradise Pier was turned from a comical representation of California boardwalks into a representation of Victorian seaside amusement parks of the 1920s, and some of the area's off-the-shelf rides were either removed outright or rethemed to have more of a focus on Disney characters. Cars Land, an area that simulates Radiator Springs from Disney Pixar's Cars film franchise, was added to the southeast portion of the park, and includes 3 new rides including the e-ticket Radiator Springs races. Construction was completed in 2012 and the park was rededicated on June 14, 2012. The park received a modified name, Disney California Adventure, and a new logo, first put into use on June 11, 2010, and promoted in a commercial promoting World of Color a few days prior. The redesign and expansion of the park saw attendance rates increase dramatically. In 2012, Disney California Adventure reached a record high for the park of over 7 million visitors, a number Disney had hoped the park would do in its first year. The day of the park's rededication saw the park draw a record number of 43,000 visitors in one day. The night before the rededication, over 500 people camped outside of the park in order to be the first admitted in. 2 days later, the park hit a new record of 45,000 visitors. Speaking on the attendance increase at Disney California Adventure, Jay Rasulo, Disney's chief financial officer, said, "We had a very uneven distribution where most people spent most of their time at Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure was empty. Now, half of the folks go to one, half of the folks go to the other. It's almost a dream come true." Timeline 1991. The Walt Disney Company announces plans to build WestKit. 1995. WestKit plans are scrapped and Disney instead announces plans for a California and Hollywood, California-themed park. 1997. Construction begins on Disney's California Adventure. 2000. A commercial for Disney's California Adventure Park is seen on VHS copies of Toy Story 2. February 8, 2001. Disney's California Adventure opens to the public. October 2002. A Bug's Land opens as the first new themed area since the park's inception, with new attractions including Flix Flyers and Heimlich's Choo Choo Train. May 2004. The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror opens as the second version of the attraction. July 15, 2005. Turtle Talk with Crush opens as the second version of the attraction 2 days before Disneyland's 50th anniversary. July 17, 2005. Block Party Bash has its first performance, to be partnered with Walt Disney's Parade of Dreams in Disneyland Park. January 2006. Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue. Opens in Hollywood Pictures Backlit. October 17, 2007. The Walt Disney Company announces a multi-year, $1.1 billion expansion plan for Disney's California Adventure Park. The plan includes modifications to Paradise Pier, Golden State and Hollywood Pictures Backlit and new areas, Buena Vista Street and Cars Land. March 14, 2008. Pixar Play Parade has its first performance replacing Block Party Bash, which moved to Disney's Hollywood Studios. June 2008. Toy Story Midway Mania opens in Paradise Pier. October 14, 2008. The Sun Wheel Eccentric Wheel is re-themed and renamed Mickey's Fun Wheel. October 20, 2008. Walt Disney Imagineering Blue Sky Cellar opens, replacing Seasons of the Vine Theater. 2010. Construction on Buena Vista Street and Cars Land begins. May 28, 2010. Disney's California Adventure Park is renamed as Disney California Adventure. June 11, 2010. Silly Symphony Swings opens, replacing the Orange Stinger. Disney California Adventure adopts a new logo. World of Color debuts at Paradise Pier. September 7, 2010. Malibuma closes and is subsequently removed. October 12, 2010. Mulholland Madness is closed for re-theming of Goofy's Sky School. November 5, 2010. California Screamin's original recorded safety spiels were updated with the voice of actor Neil Patrick Harris. June 2011. The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure debuts at Paradise Pier. July 1, 2011. Goofy's Sky School opens, replacing the former Mulholland Madness, but its track layout is unchanged. July 15, 2011. Pan Pacific Auditorium Gate entrance opens as a near duplicate of the entrance at Disney's Hollywood Studios. July 20, 2011. The construction on the Golden Gate monorail bridge begins as part of the transformation into the Glendale Hyperion Bridge. August 2011. California's EFA is removed from Sunshine Plaza and donated to the Western Pacific Railroad Museum. August 29, 2011. Sunshine Plaza closes to make way for Buena Vista Street. February 8, 2012. Disney announces that the park will be divided into 8 themed lands, to include Buena Vista Street, Cars Land, Paradise Pier, Condor Flats, A Bug's Land, Pacific Wharf, Hollywood Land, and Grizzly Peak. June 14, 2012. The park has a one-day closure to prepare for rededication the next day. June 15, 2012. The park is reopened, after a one-day closure with a newly dedicated Buena Vista Street, Cars Land, and Hollywood Land. Pixar Play Parade makes its return after a brief hiatus as the expansion was being finished. November 15, 2013. World of Color opens completely reimagined as a holiday show with the title World of Color, Winter Dreams. January 7, 2015. Frozen Fun premieres for a limited time in Hollywood Land, with Freeze the Night, a family dance party, as a replacement for Mad Tea Party. January 7, 2015. Condor Flats closes to be rethemed as Grizzly Peak Airfield. February 17, 2015. Luigi's Flying Tires closes for modifications, scheduled to reopen in early 2016 with new ride vehicles and a new ride system. May 15, 2015. Grizzly Peak Airfield opens. May 22, 2015. World of Color Celebrate The Wonderful World of Walt Disney, originally announced on January 28, 2015. Debuts as part of Disneyland Resort's 60th anniversary Diamond Celebration.